Last time on Almost Heroes.
We picked up having just entered the Ebon Depths mine. Two Knoll guards had discovered the unconscious Kenku outside and were rushing past our hiding spots to raise the alarm. Glenn had rushed out to attack one of them, which had caused an invisible Rangrim to start feeling very angry. Rangrim attacked Glenn while the party was trying to dispatch the Knoll guards. Thanks to Glenn's evasion, Cosmo's command spell, Rangrim was able to free himself of the mind control without causing too much damage. Appreciate that. Udak led us to a side passage used for storage to recuperate and hide the Knoll bodies. However, it turned out to be home to a barrel mimic, and upon further inspection, a small goblin named Gerd. After getting some information from Gerd and arming her with a dagger, we helped her to escape, where she proceeded to stab the Kenku outside. Then proceeded down the tunnel deeper into the Ebon Depths until we came across a large cross-section of tunnels. That is where we left off.
Yeah, thank you, Bobby. Yeah, and with that, we can start episode 24, Conviction. So we're going to pick up with the Almost Heroes having just freed Gerd, the Goblin, and heading deeper into the Ebon Depths mine. You've just come across basically this large intersection of tunnels and have seen a Knoll basically come running from the right-hand side of you, Glenn, to the left, and then kind of like talking to another Knoll kind of hurriedly. You didn't really see them. You just kind of heard them kind of in the distance echoing down the mine, just this like guttural speech. And then it kind of headed north, kind of to the northeast-ish, out of your view. And then sending Poe kind of like farther down, you were able to see that farther down, there's like this waterway that cuts across the passageway, and then kind of from the west to the east. And then further out, there's like this misty blue fog that's obscuring one of these passageways. And then there are two Knoll guards that are kind of sitting there in front of that. And that is where we can pick up. So what do you do?
So Poe's off to the left from where we are now. I think you were going to make a perception check to see if you saw Poe. If I remember correctly, that's how the last one end, or was it to attack? I couldn't remember, but...
Yes, I think that is the case because Poe is flying over the Knolls. So I'm gonna roll. I need you to roll me a stealth check for Poe, and then I will roll a perception for the Knolls that would have seen them.
Poe did great. Natural 18. I'll see if they have any negatives.
Well, they have a 0 to their wisdom, so that means that's
be a +2 to so a dirty 20. Dirty 20
okay.
For Poe.
Poe was very lucky. One of them did roll an 18, but they have a +0 to it. So yeah, and their passive perception is they do have dark vision, but even with that, I'll say that Poe is able to, with its dark coloring already, and like able to kind of stick, like even though this passageway is not more than 15 feet high, like he's able to stick kind of towards the ceiling a little bit and is able to obscure himself, and then is able to return to you unless you want them to kind of land farther in.
Yeah, I would definitely be leaving Poe out there. I think they would kind of like perch on maybe a small rock. It's not super tall, I know that, but like would maybe nestle themselves in. And then Glenn would kind of bamf into Poe's eyes and see what Poe sees. Once Poe flew up and Glenn kind of bamfed in and took vision, could I tell that the Knolls were avoiding the blue fog, or did it just look like they were just like over by it?
Roll perception check for me.
Okay, for Poe. Well, yeah.
Yes,
for Poe.
But it's for I would say it's your brain's deduction.
Okay, 13 total.
Okay, I'll say that you can tell that you don't know whether they're avoiding it, but you know they're not in it. They're like there's definitely distance between them and that fog.
Okay, so Glenn would kind of come back into his eyes and tell Poe, if you see them start to move our way, just cry like we practiced. And so I'm going to set an action for if they start to walk back towards this direction, Poe's going to use their mimicry feature and cry like a baby. Like super loud. As loud as a raven can cry like a baby. Just immediately start crying.
Probably pretty fucking loud and also pretty terrifying, to be quite honest.
And then Glenn's gonna look back towards the group, like, guys, let's go. We've got 2 left. I don't know what's in front of us, but I think we can take them out before we have to worry about maybe those other groups. I saw one that ran off that way. My point, northwest, the way, or northeast, I guess, the way that it ran.
Are you all still? I know that. Which direction are you guys? Which direction are you guys generally looking to lead or looking to go?
I'm calling them up, right? Because I've been tracking ahead.
All right,
Okay.
so we can.
So I'm just calling them to me.
Okay. All right, so we move up to. Cosmo would move up to Glenn. And.
Or Sudak would come up too.
Right. So which way are we going?
So we got 2 on the left, and then we got 1 just north of us, just headed the opposite direction. We can take these 2 on the left. We can put them down, but if I remember correctly, Doc's going to be to the right, to the east.
Do we just want to sneak to the right, or we think they'll see us if we try to?
Oh yeah, do I remember which way they were facing when I was looking through Poe's eyes?
Poe. Yeah, I think where Poe's stationed right now, the one that is looking closest to Poe, you would know that they were looking like pretty much straight down that hallway towards you.
No, I think we got to take them out. I don't think there's a friendly way through this one.
Well, what you have in mind then? Want to try and sneak up on them? Cause look at me.
I can at least take care of one of them, but if you start hearing some loud noises, it would be very appreciated if you brought the cavalry.
Right. Okay.
I don't literally mean your giant glowing horse. We should keep that outside. I mean like the metaphorical cavalry.
Right. Just me hammer. Right.
Yes, that one.
Okay. What then? Do good. Go get him.
I'm going to I'm going to move and stealthily as possible get basically just below Poe.
Okay.
Cosmo turns to Rangrim and just says, Rangrim, get ready for this to break a little bad.
He's not very good at the snaky things, but he's such a light on his feet, but he makes a lot of noise.
Right. And
guys, I can hear you.
Glenn, can you do a stealth check for me?
Yeah. This is like 1,029.
Holy moly.
Yeah, you are the shadows.
Okay, so from this point, I can see. Yeah, I still can't really see that other guy because of that angle. I'm going to communicate to Poe. I'm going to say, hey, Poe, why don't you go give him a little peck? And Poe's going to fly over above him and just land above him and see if he can't get the guy to turn around.
Okay, yeah. So I'm going to do, perception, that thing automatic. Like it sees Poe fly down at it from unless you want to roll a stealth, but if it's going to attack him, he's going to see it coming. And like, as Poe
he would be doing it stealthily. He would be like trying to just end up above him and just like
roll a stealth check for Poe then.
That's not bad. It's 16.
That is exactly what I rolled. Does he have anything bonus to it? Does he have +2?
Yeah, I'm looking for us now.
I think it was +2.
What is the? You would think I know this.
Dex +2.
Yes. Yeah. So 18.
Sweet. Yeah. So just barely flies above this thing and then starts like basically swoops down through the shadows and then just dives back from behind him and starts pecking him in the back of the head, which is going to absolutely give you advantage on this attack if you want to do a sneaky attack.
Yeah. So I'm going to still as stealthily as possible. I'm going to close the distance and with my double-bladed scimitar, I'm going to try to just end this guy's life. But I'm going to cast Booming Blade when I do it. That's a 27. No, 23 to hit.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Yes, very much it does.
And why can't I find my... Oh, it's because it's all little. Sorry. Technical difficulties. Oh, wow. Tight. So 13 on the strike and then 3... D6, so 21 damage plus a blooming blade, which would be an extra D8. 21 plus 7, so 28 damage to him.
How does it die?
So as I just go to impale him, like a spark of lightning just kind of shoots up through his eyes and it like just kind of blows out his eye sockets.
So thunder
Still
damage
bonus
is
action
different.
hide.
Yeah, thunder damage is different than lightning damage. It basically is sound.
Cool. So his head pops. Perfect.
Yeah, so you explode this thing. You basically like turn the amplifier up to 11, blow this guy's head off, and then this whole place goes boom and like echoes down the hallways, scaring the living shit out of this Knoll, who turns around to see his friend. Where are you hiding, by the way? Are you hiding behind the corpse?
I would use the rest of my.
Yeah, you're not technically hidden, but you're hidden from view. So this guy's gonna run over. Poe, is he just hidden up in the rafter or up in the like?
Still just hanging.
Okay, out of range. This thing's gonna run over and just kind of inspect his companion, and then just start yelling like this yipping yell, and is going to head down the hallway this way.
So as I get back and I'd like tuck out of the way and we hear him start yelling, I look back at the guys and go, "That was the noise. Go."
Right. And
I think we can probably. What are you guys planning on doing? I think we're gonna probably roll initiative here.
Yeah, I would have ran up to Cosmo. Natural 20. I mean,
Nice.
Flynn, rather.
I got a
You
dirty
guys in
one.
your natural 20s for the most random shit.
I know.
Random.
Yeah, initiative.
literally shit. Literal. But yes, also other random. I did not do so well. I have a 9.
I got a gentleman's 20. It's not dirty. It's a gentleman's 20.
Yeah, when the thundering goes off, I think it sounds like Cosmo and Raingrim move up to the edge, right?
Yeah, that's
I
what.
would have. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
okay.
Awesome. So, Glenn, I'll give you your attack of opportunity as this thing runs by you, and then we're gonna roll into initiative order.
13 to hit. Yeah, 13.
No, does not hit.
Damn. So I just like would take a streak just right across his head and just like.
It looks over at you, goes, whoop, and then is just kind of continuing to move. I'm just gonna move it to here, and then it's gonna be Rangrim's turn.
Raingrim, get him.
So I am directly in front of him, more or less.
Yep.
If I go from behind Cosmo. And if he was still moving in any way, I would grab him by the shoulders and just shout, "Stop moving, dork!" and cast Word of Radiance on him.
What is
Fucking
that?
love that spell. That's the spell. That's the stay away from my donkey spell.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
So I basically just shout a divine word, and if he has to make a con save.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Stay away from my donkeys.
How is I'm sure this saves 3.
Oh yeah, for sure it does not.
Is it a dirty 3 or a gentleman's 3?
It's a 3 with no plus.
It's a 3.
That is a fucking real ass 3.
Not great. 2d6, but 8 damage.
So you yell, "Stop moving, dork," at them as they're running by, and just like blasted by this radiant verbiage, and just like you can see like you blew out their eardrums, and there's blood just kind of pouring out of their ears.
It's the lamest Skyrim dragon roar. Like it's the worst power word.
Power word dork.
Boostro dork.
Boostro dork. If that website isn't taken yet, just gonna look that up real quick. You can now find Almost Heroes at foostrodork.com.
Good luck on the spelling.
Yeah.
Right. We're gonna have to get like
anyway.
11 different just so that all the misspells come to us.
Cosmo, it is your turn.
Raingrim tries to Fusor dork this kid, and he is still running.
And screaming, like literally like screaming out this like yipping yell as it's going to. Like that's echoing off the walls.
Do you think it's something where I can just reach out and try and grab him?
I mean, they're literally running right past you right now.
Okay.
Rangrim kind of stepped out in front of them, and they're kind of sidestepping Rangrim currently. But yeah,
Okay.
they're right.
I'm gonna
next to
try and like jump out and just like grab the guy
you. Okay.
or Noel.
Yeah, and this is just Knolls are like six foot tall hyena people. Like they're very big.
Okay.
So you're just like, ah!
I'm jumping for it. Don't.
Nice. Yeah, roll me a grapple, I guess. Roll me a strength check.
Also, DM, did I get my turn on the 20 initiative?
Yes. Oh shit. I'm sorry.
I'm happy to go after this. I'm happy to go.
I put Cosmo ahead of you for some reason. Yeah, you can go next one. Also, I need you to roll for Poe as well.
12.
Shit's breaking about as bad as possibly can right now for you guys. So.
Yeah. Well.
It was a pretty quiet thunderbolt or thunderclap, so
I don't know about that.
Can I roll stealth for my thunder?
And then like Rangrim's over here shouting radiant words.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I think
I think we left the stealth of the door.
Dork.
Yeah.
There's a whole motif I was going with there. And
It's a gentleman's 21.
Oh damn.
Yeah, I mean that. Let me roll. 4 plus, 4 plus, so 6 for theirs.
Sick. So Cosmo like jumps out onto this thing's back and like crawls up and puts this thing in like a choker hold.
Okay, yeah, I mean because you grappled it, they are technically like, it's not prone, right? What is it?
Restrained.
Restrained. Okay. So yeah, you get on this thing's back and you're able to like throw your weight back with all your plate mail armor and like pull this thing basically backwards and now have it in a choker hold. So like you're standing on your feet and this thing is like in your arm bar.
He's going night.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I mean you can definitely, if you're trying to put this thing to sleep, you have it fully restrained currently.
That's what I would be going for. Like it's just like
trying to put it out. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Shit. Is there a suffocate? I don't even know if there's a suffocation rule for D&D. Does anyone know in chat if there's like a night rule for choking things out?
I'm pretty sure that's exactly what it's called.
Putting something to sleep. I bet you. I would imagine it's like a con save.
Yes. So I need to make a con save. It's going to take a round. But yeah, I will do a con save right now. But I think it's going to have to get around in there.
Well, wouldn't it need to make the con save on the turn to not?
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so you have it being held down right now. Udak's kind of looking at you guys like, should I stab it? What do you want to do? I don't know what to do here.
How are you still asking this question? Yes.
Udak's like, all right, and just runs in with both of his weird sharp hands. He's gonna attack. That's gonna be a 9 plus 5. That is barely going to miss. Though he's gonna have advantage because things are strained. So that's another 9. That's even worse. That's a 17 plus 5. That's going to hit. So he's going to hit on the second time. And let's take 1 sword damage on this thing. That's going to be 7 damage. And he's basically just going to take his hand and just like stab this gnoll like right in the stomach, which looks really strange because it's the hand that really kind of like, you can see the hole in the stomach open up before the hand even actually hits him, which is very weird. Yeah, because I think the sword probably extends at least a good 8 to 10 inches further than the hand would. But yeah, so okay, that's going to bring us to the top of the round with Rangrim.
I would get around in, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah, sorry, I skipped you again.
Okay, I'm going to kill your friend. So I'm going to go ahead and just like step in front of the gnoll as he's being restrained, and I'm going to go ahead and stab him with the Revenant blade. The double bladed, that's going to be a 26 to hit.
Wait, are you stabbing the one that I'm holding?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm silencing him. He's going night, but a lot quicker. Oh, terrible roll on that. So that's going to be a.
Do they even get a bonus because I'm literally holding it still?
Well, advantage, yeah.
They're getting advantage,
okay.
yeah. So did
8 damage plus, and because I have advantage at sneak attack, so 21 damage.
Yes. How does it die?
Horribly.
So, yeah, it's gonna be super awkward for Cosmo. As I like step in front of him very quietly, just look Cosmo in the eyes, don't even look at the beast, and just go and just kill him like very slowly. And then I take my movement and I run to where Poe is, and I go hide.
Okay.
Brace for what's coming next.
So you kill you kill this knoll in this horrifying, gruesome, slow fashion. You're gonna have to have Rangrim carve a bunch of knolls into your revenant blade here pretty soon. And as you're running over to hide and hiding behind this like headless knoll corpse, all of you hear that echoing bell toll deeper down in the mine to kind of down the passageway to your right. And you hear the sound of like just multiple footsteps coming down the hallway.
Cosmo turns over to Glenn. He's just like, Glenn, you know I blame you for this one. And he like drops the knoll. Is gonna say, Udak, Rangrim, let's fall back into this hallway here. And moving towards this way.
Okay. So how far down? I guess that's how far you're going in there.
That's it. 5 feet. 10 feet.
Yeah, as they're like getting close, to like avoid the blue stuff. The gnolls were not friends of it either. Just stay away.
Just so you know, so as you're going into this hallway a little bit more, there seems to be like this kind of iridescent purple light, not blue, in this hallway. It actually kind of reminds you a little bit of the iridescent light of the nightcaps from when you were in the Highwood, but it's different. And actually, Rangrim, if you can roll me a history check, I can give you a little bit.
How's a 3?
I mean, not good. I'll say that you recognize these just from living in the Underdark. You don't know much about them. You just from traveling around the Underdark. These are much larger, and they're just like, whereas the nightcaps were very small and there was like a mist around them, these things are just like much larger and iridescent mushrooms. And when you're kind of looking at them, they're almost like, they seem like harder. Like they're almost like, they're not like soft, spongy mushrooms. They're almost like if you threw a rock at them, a rock would bounce off, kind of thing. But this hallway is like, they're just kind of growing around the hallway, and it's just kind of casting this purple light, kind of going further in. But you don't see anyone else in your relative space currently.
Oh well, I've seen these things before. Yep, seen these before. That's for sure.
I don't think I believe you. Whatever.
I've definitely seen them.
Just hide. Everybody, just
Right.
we'll rush them. We just
Everybody
need
hide.
them to get close.
All right.
Yeah. So you all are. So I'll take stealth checks from all of you.
Do I same one from earlier? Or do you want me to roll again?
Roll again, please. 4 for 4.
Or favor.
4 favor.
Oof.
Oh.
Smart of you to ask me to roll again. I got it.
Oof
2,
means
which
good,
is,
right?
13 total.
Oof.
Yeah. No, because I get disadvantage because of the plate armor, so that would be an 11 and not the natural 20 that I rolled next to it.
Oh no.
Oh, no. Yeah. So you all hear just like this kind of like yipping and like almost like battle cry, very similar to what you heard when you were out in the Quiet Lands with Nybarg and Red Fury. Just this like loud kind of like guttural yipping, and as you hear just like these like padded footsteps running down the hallway, and they just like you hear 3 of them stop in the hallway, and they start like kind of yipping over towards the side, and you hear the sound of more footsteps and splashes as more gnolls are running across the waterway and kind of like all collaborating in this middle chamber right here, and are just kind of talking to each other, and they are going to roll a perception check to see whether or not they see you guys. Yeah, so they're kind of chittering, like yipping and talking to each other, and then they kind of like, one of you, I think it would be who got the worst roll?
I got a 2. But as I kind of check on, as I realize like I'm poorly hidden, Cosmo would just step out.
Okay.
He'd just like step out in front. Like here was just like, and just seeing what do I see? Like,
you see 5 gnolls that are all like consolidated in this hallway, and you see most of them, like 4 of them are wearing just like general, like kind of the rough assortment of armor that you've seen in the past of like the Knoll Slavers. And one of them's holding this like massive broadsword kind of slung over his shoulder and is wearing like much more close to like a pieced together plate mail with like spikes coming off of it. They make direct eye contact with you, and all of them just kind of look over and just kind of go quiet as they see this dwarf in this shining gold armor step out from the side.
Right. Yeah. Cosmo's just like, well, I'm a little lost. Can you help me? Where's the door? How'd you guys get in here?
The Knoll leader is going to push aside the one next to him and just like kind of smirk and just start doing this growl. And he pulls this flask out of his off of his belt and quaps something, and you see them double in size. And they just start walking towards you, picking up speed and pulling this broadsword off their back. I'm gonna need you to roll for, or I'm gonna do an attack on you here in a second.
Hold on. Okay. It's one that I wanted.
You bit boy.
And
first one's going to be a 19 plus 5 to hit.
19 plus 5,
Cosmo. Yep. And the second one's going to be an 8 plus 5, so that one's not going to hit. But that first one, I'm going to roll a d10, which I don't have to roll very often. As he slices down with his massive broadsword. That's going to be 6 damage. As he slices down on you, it just like hits you, and it doesn't cut through your armor, of course, but just like the sheer weight of this thing as it kind of hits you on the shoulder, just like, ugh, it pushes you down. Actually, you know what? Because they're enlarged, they actually get, an extra d4 damage?
Yes, it is an extra d4 when you're enlarged.
Okay, so that's 8 damage total then.
Okay, 8 damage total?
Yeah, and this thing is it's basically scraping its head against the ceiling. This thing is damn near,
like, yeah.
It's 12 feet tall, so it's big. But yeah, we can enter into this thing at this point, unless you want to keep trying to talk your way out of this.
No, that's all I really wanted to accomplish with that.
Awesome. That's going to be. I'm going to give Rangrim the first go here.
Well, Cosmo, I don't know you did to piss that one off, but Rangrim's going to run directly in front of Cosmo to about here, and then he's going to take the end of his warhammer and smash it into the ground and cast Spirit Guardians around himself.
Oh, fuck.
And designating, obviously, Udak, Poe, Cosmo, and Glenn as not being harmed from it.
Yeah, so what? Do they have to make their saves now?
It is, I'm sorry, actually, I have it up right here. So I designate any number of creatures. An affected creature's speed is halved when they're in the area, and it's when they enter the area for the first time on a turn or start their turn there. They have to make a wisdom save.
Okay. Technically, are they entering into it right now, or what did they just do it on their turn?
It's technically on their turn, so it's the first time on their turn or when the first time they enter it.
Awesome. Sounds good. That works for me. Anything else, or is that your turn?
That, for the most part, yep, that's my turn.
Cool. Glenn, it's your turn.
Yeah, feeling a little bit bad that I just had my shiny golden buddy catch a big old sword to the shoulder for me. Glenn's gonna kind of like pop his head like a little bit around the corner and draw back his bow and be like, "That's my bad, Cosmo," and just take a shot at the giant guy fighting Cosmo.
Cool. Yeah. Also, the Spirit Guardians, they look like just like Rangrim's, like spectral versions of Rangrim's family, right?
Yep. So it'd be his grandfather, one of his father. It's just picture a bunch of Rangrims with like different haircuts.
That's sick.
How many of them have
Awesome.
Actually, 3 of them all are missing their left eye and have an eye patch.
It's dope.
That's awesome.
Real cool.
It's
tradition.
That's really sick. Yeah.
I rolled
really
a 19 plus 8, so 27 to hit the big guy.
Yes, very much. That does hit.
Terrible on the damage, but it's sneak attack, so 20. No, math's hard. 18 damage. To the big guy with the volley, the arrow volley. Just it like lights up real quick and just splashes on his head. And then as a bonus action, I'm going to hide.
Yeah, that arrow hits him in the side of the head and explodes. You get like the deep so it kind of hits him in the side and kind of he knocks his head sideways a little bit. Yeah, that is going.
I got a 18 to hide. 18.
Okay, cool, awesome. Yeah, I think that passes their that passes their passive perception for sure. That's actually gonna be the Noel's turn. So this one right here is going to move in, which is going to activate Spirit Guardians. And this one right here is also going to start its turn in it and kind of move in as well.
I can't see. Oh, okay.
So their speeds are also halved when they're in it
Okay.
as well. And they just have to make a wisdom save to have the damage.
Okay. They will have all the damage.
Halve.
I need to make. So what is it? Constitution saves?
Con saves, yes.
I thought it was wisdom.
Wisdom, you said.
I'm sorry, yes. Wisdom save.
10 for one of them. 7 for the other one.
Oh man, your ancestors are about to bring the ruckus.
Yep. That is
Suck.
19 damage to
fuck.
those boys.
Yeah, they are not dead, but your spectral homies put the smack down on them pretty hard, to the point where like they are just clinging to life in just not the best ways. And that's going to bring us. Actually, no, because they're going to get their attacks. So let's do that. So the one they're actually both just going to try to lay the smack down on Cosmo, which is unfortunate for him, though I doubt they're going to be able to hit.
Not likely.
Yeah, that's not good. Yeah, it's going to be an 18 for the first one. That one's actually good. That one's a 21 to hit.
That'll work.
So that one's going to bring its sword down on you and just get you for a little touch, little kiss of damage. That is 5 plus 2. It's 7 damage on you, Cosmo.
7 damage.
7 damage. It just kind of like sneaks in underneath the arm of its bigger friend and just kind of like gets you as you're kind of trying to like focus on the big guy. It kind of catches you in the side with its sword. The other one kind of comes in too, and you're able to sidestep its sword attacks as it's being beaten unto death by Rangrim's homies.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, actually that is going to bring
grandma.
us to yeah, just a handbag, just a
Don't
shoe.
touch my grandson.
It's Poe's turn.
Whose turn?
Poe.
Oh,
Perfect. My murder raven. Poe is going to look around him and see if he can find any sticks. And then he's going to start building a small nest because he's going to sit this one out. He's going to take an action to hang the fuck out.
Yeah, there's little pieces of I don't know if they're sticks, but like small I don't know, fungus knickknacks and little pieces of scrap stuff on the ground that Poe can start building a nest in the, I guess, stalactites. I don't know.
Yeah, a little like just that one gum wrapper that's in every national park. Just
Of
that.
course.
Yeah, that's going to be there. That's good. That's his crowning achievement. Is that little shiny foil.
Nice. Yeah, roll me a what would it be? Performance? nature check. Yeah, nature check for Poe.
Okay, cool. I love it. That's a 10.
Okay, it's not the worst nest. It's not the best nest. It's a nest.
He's
made out of gum wrappers and garbage.
He's used to like the Feywild, materials. Like these ones are different. They're heavier almost.
Okay.
Less frilly, less sparkles. It was confusing.
100%. Yeah. No, totally. It is actually now Cosmo's turn.
Right. Well, let's do this. And since he's getting pretty much ganged up on by all of these gnolls, even though Rangrim's family is ganging up on them, he's really focused in on this big guy. He is going to take his war pick and he's going to try and like stab the thing in the thigh with it.
Okay, cool.
And then we'll see what happens from there. Let's see here what he's going to get. Did not do so. I got a 15 to hit.
That is going to just do it.
So Cosmo is going to stab this thing in the shin or the calf
Okay.
for 10 damage.
Dope.
Gonna
And in the shin too. That's some painful 10 damage.
yeah, bro.
This thing like lifts its leg up and as you hit it in the shin, you like find a gap in its armor. It's like kind of pieced together plate mail.
Because I don't think I could reach any higher. At this, they were already 6 feet. Now there's
you
another
get-
6 feet of monster.
Yeah, you give it a bunch of ouchies in its leg.
Fine. Still
Do
timber.
you have another attack?
No, I missed my second action.
Gotcha.
Or you know what I mean.
Awesome. Yeah, so these other gnolls are going to rush in now at the Rangrim that is hidden. Both angering the ancestors of Rangrim. That's a natural 20 for one of them on their save. And that's a 17 for the other one. They don't have a plus to their wisdom, so does that save?
That does save.
Okay, so both of those guys save. Do they take any damage, or are they completely
Yeah,
bypass it?
they take half, so it was 17. So I think
Okay.
that would be 8.
Yeah, I think we can round it up to 9. Cool. So they take 9 damage, and they are able to get to you, Rangrim, and they're going to try to lay the smackdown.
I'm
that's
gonna
a
use
night-
I'm gonna use my reaction to impose for protection on him to impose.
What's your range on that?
It's 10 feet.
Yeah, I'm in 10 feet with him.
Where
I'm
is he?
underneath the big knoll.
He's straight in front of you. He's in the center of the circle.
Okay. So always in
He's
the
got a
center.
knoll on top of him. I
Okay.
can try to move this knoll out of the way. No, fuck. See, okay, if I move him. Oh my god. Okay, hold on 1 second. I'm turning off grid snapping. 1 second, because this is getting buck wild. There we go. All right, there's Rangrim.
Oh, there he is.
There he is. I turned grid snapping off, at least for this battle, so I'll turn it back on afterwards because it's getting kind of crazy. So you're
Anyways.
imposing disadvantage on the first one?
Sure. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's good because it rolled a 19 plus 5. So I'm going to roll a second time. It's an 8 plus 5, so it does not hit that time. That's an 18 plus 5, so that is going to hit for the second one. It is a D8 as they bring their spear in. I guess, yeah, spear 7 plus 2. That's gonna be 9 damage. Rangrim is Cosmo. Like, how do you impose disadvantage, Cosmo?
Right. I think just like seeing, maybe it's like a shimmer, like a shimmer of light into the thing's eyes with my shield.
Yeah.
Ah,
No, that's
like get him right
that's
in the
cool.
eye.
Yeah, you like this radiant light that's shining off Rangrim and the whole Spirit Guardians thing. You kind of reflect some of that with your shield or greave or something, and it just shines right in this thing's eye. Just and the other one kind of sneaks in with a spear and gets Rangrim for the 9 damage. But that's going to bring us to Udak's turn, actually. Udak is going to, seeing that his newly gained friends are getting attacked and having like kind of flashbacks to these probably same gnolls just absolutely murdering like his whole group of people. Like you see like an anger in Udak that like is probably kind of confusing because it's coming through in this like tiefling form that he's still currently in, which at this point probably is unnecessary. But you see this extremely attractive tiefling woman, very, very upset, running forward with the crazy straight hands, and is just going to try to like absolutely murk this gnoll. That's going to be a 19, so that roll is going to play right into that RP as Udak hits this gnoll and absolutely eviscerates them. So just kind of runs up and just both hands just stabs and lifts this gnoll off the ground and just kind of cuts down like this and tears it in half. And like this gnoll is kind of like the top section falls off the second section, and this gnoll is going to be gone. And I wish Udak had some sort of ranged attack because I think that it'd be great for it to get to the other one, but it's not going to be able to.
I was gonna use nothing. You can't use a range weapon with sorts.
It's true. True. And I was even thinking, like, is there a way he could take one of them off because they disconnect? But I don't think that's going to be the case.
Hey, he was able to tie a rope earlier, so he can do anything.
I totally
You know what?
forgot about that.
That's fair. That's fair. I'm gonna say that he kind of like wedges it between his legs and kind of disconnects it, the connector, and then just goes like this and is going to kind of throw it forward like a dagger as a ranged attack weapon.
I didn't even think about that when.
Fuck. That's a natural one.
Yeah, he's gonna.
So he just chucked his knife hand.
Yeah, so he just
But I so graciously made him just down a hall to a mine.
Well, with a natural one too. Bobby, make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh,
Sure. Oh, I'm fine with it. Dexterity saving throw. Nat 20.
Nat 20. Okay, you kind of like you see Udak stab this thing through the stomach and tear it in half, and then like kind of twist this thing, this knife hand between its legs, and kind of like huck it, and you're just able to just like split second get out of the way of this thing as it whips right over your shoulder past your head and just kind of clatters off the wall. But you do not get hit by it, which is a very good thing. And that's actually going to bring us to the big boy's turn. Big boy is going to try to again attack. Well, actually, it started its turn in the pain circle. So that's going to be a 14 plus 0.
that would fail.
Wah, wah.
He
How
takes
much damage?
12 dooms.
12
And
doom.
smacked up on the grandparents. Smack, smack.
Okay. This thing's starting to look really bad. It is not down yet, but it is definitely hurting. So it is going to lay the smack. Like it's getting just your ancestor just beating this thing around its ankles and shins and knees. And it's just kind of like growling in pain as it takes another attack down on a couple attacks down on Cosmo. That's going to be 11 plus 5. That's not going to do it.
No.
That's going to be 15 plus 5, 20.
If it meets, it beats, right?
Yes.
Yep.
So it roars down with this pretty big sword again. That's going to be a 5 plus 2 plus 2. So that's going to be 9 damage. And it's just going to like, again, just like you get your shield up, but this thing like comes down on you and your knees just kind of buckle as, and just like you feel this like tremor run through you and you take basically 9 points of bludgeoning damage. And that's going to bring us to Rangrim's turn.
Seeing everything that's happening, Rangrim is going to just staying in the same position he's in because that big boy is within range for me to kind of hit him, right?
Big boy? Yeah, big boy is directly behind you.
Okay. So Rangrim is just going to kind of just pivot, like dragging the head of his warhammer on the ground and spin and just swing upwards and trying to basically just hit the knoll directly in the family jewels. Like he's like extra big, so I imagine it's almost like there's a speed bag hanging there and he's just going to
yeah, I would assume. Roll for it.
Like how much you've thought about this Knowles family jewels.
That is an 18. Yes. 11 plus 7.
Yeah. That definitely hits.
So that is 7 damage right to his gonads.
I think I already know this
Nice.
answer, but how does the big boy die?
Yes.
I imagine that there's just like a loud like yelp, like when you accidentally step on your dog's paw. It's just like, "Arr!" And he just crashes to his knees and falls down as an obnoxious amount of blood then just starts seeping out from between his legs backwards behind him.
Jesus.
Jeez.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely what happens as the Knoll Big Boy no longer ceases to be and is gone.
Neither will there be any other big Knoll either.
Yeah. That bloodline has ended.
Yeah.
That bloodline is spilling all over the floor right now.
And remember, even though I'm like deleting them to kind of free up the battlefield, remember to like search them and all that stuff as well.
Then after doing that, I would kind of just wipe the end of my hammer on the ground, just kind of like rubbing it in the dirt, like ew, ew, as I like looking at the other gnolls, and I just wink at them.
Oh man, yeah, yeah. So that's gonna bring us to Glenn's turn.
So after being slightly impressed and mortified, Glenn's gonna tuck out again, and as he's drawing back another shot, he's gonna aim for the knoll just off to this one over here, the one off Rangrim's, I guess behind him.
Okay, this guy.
I tried to, yeah, that
There
guy,
goes.
this guy here.
And daggers.
Yeah, and so as it leans out, just like, Rangrim, we got to talk about these issues, man, and just like release the shot.
Nice. Yeah. Roll to attack.
Oh my gosh, I had advantage and I rolled a 1 and a 2. So a 2 plus 8, so a 10 to hit.
It's not gonna do it, my guy.
Yeah, I didn't think so. Yeah, just completely just kind of traumatized by the experience of watching a little dwarf just basically end a bloodline. And kind of amused. I just like, he's chuckling, he just takes the shot and just completely misses. He's like, okay, I need a minute, and he just kind of like steps back and hides again.
Yeah, shortly after getting killed too, you see the gnoll shrink back down to normal gnoll size as well.
I got a 22 for sneak.
Okay, yeah, you are very much still snubbed. Yeah, that's going to bring this gnoll that's attacking Cosmo. Rangrim, since you winked at the gnolls, just roll me an intimidation check.
16. I do not think I have a bonus to that, so it is just a straight 16. Oh no, sorry, it's 18. I do have a +2 to my charisma.
Okay, so I'm going to say that the other two near you, they are the ones that you winked at. I think that they're probably going to have a reaction to that in their turn, but the one that's behind you was able to kind of save against that, and it's going to attack Cosmo again. Great. It rolls a 2, so Rangrim winks at it, and it kind of just like just watch what happened to its Noel big boy friend, and it is just completely distraught and kind of distracted, and swings down on Cosmo with the sword again, and just completely whiffs and kind of bounces it off the wall. And
did it make the save for the spirit guardian?
Oh shit! No, I didn't make the save. 6 plus 0.
Dope.
Gonna get to do anything.
Whew. 15.
Yeah, how does it die? How does it get overkilled?
So one spectral image of one of Rangrim's relatives, basically just looks like Rangrim, but like, 400 years old, just ancient, just comes around the corner and just pimp slaps him. Like, just hard smack, like spectral smack in oblivion.
Yeah, and your ancestor comes and smacks this thing, and it just like, you just see the light like immediately leave this thing's eyes, and its head smacks against the wall, and it just kind of falls. It just like boop, boop, and then just kind of falls dead to the floor and just kind of slides a little bit. And I assume your ancestor's just kind of like, awesome. Actually, I think, yeah, I guess they'll save on their turns, or they'll try to save on their turns. I think that's going to be Poe now.
At this time, Poe has made a nice little nest, and has a place to come back to. So Poe's going to look down the hallway towards the mushrooms, I guess, and just fly kind of down the center of it through. I think they have 30. No, can't be 30 feet. Sorry, what's the speed? Oh shit, 50 is their flying speed. So yeah, they would basically just from the nest swoop and try to land anywhere up high 50 feet down that way.
Okay. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Right here would be 50 feet.
Cool. Awesome. Yeah. So as you're going down, it actually is kind of stepping up. Stepping down. There's like tiers almost going down, and the mushrooms are getting bigger, and there's more of them. And as Poe is flying through this, you're actually seeing that there are people working. Strangely, they don't seem to be affected. They don't seem to be even like paying attention to what's going on. They are just like mining and working and like shipping off pieces of these mushrooms. And yeah, you see there's a human, there's an orc, And then there's like a dwarf that is wearing garb very familiar to that of the Boulder Fist Mining Company.
Cool. And that's a post turn.
Sweet. That is going to bring us to Cosmo.
Great. Right. So the one in front of me died.
Yes, this guy
Okay,
is
cool.
super dead.
Super. So like seeing Cosmo or Rangrim's just like taking on these two guys, and they seem scared. I'm not really sure why. I'm gonna run up on the dagger one right here, and then I'm gonna just like try and run up and just jump on him. Just like, here we go again, dwarf pile, and then just gonna like I'm gonna just
People's
spear,
elbow.
I'm gonna just like spear the guy, just like.
Awesome. Are you doing an unarmed attack?
I guess it would be more of like a grapple to try and get him prone.
Okay,
So I
yeah,
don't
sure. Roll strength check. We'll do it.
Attack.
Yeah, I don't know how that would pan out, but that is forget my strength. That is,
He doesn't know his own strength.
well, I forget the modifier. It's a 17.
It's like a lot.
That's a 14. So yeah, you are able to overpower this gnoll, and you just throwing it into another sleeper hole.
No, I'm just trying to like pin the guy down and get on top of him.
Okay, yeah. So you're able to tackle them and kind of knock them off of their balance, and they kind of like their daggers go scattering to the ground as they basically fall sideways, and you are on top of them. You are basically you've knocked this guy over and you're on top of them, but you are also now like in the way of that other one. It's like it would have like a pretty direct attack on you if it wanted to, if it survives Rangrim's zone of pain on its first turn.
Right.
So, but it's gonna definitely have disadvantage on that save now.
That's fine. I'm not worried.
Okay.
I guess when I get on top of it, I'll just try and like smash it. Or would that be my action to grapple?
I think it's your action.
Would it be?
Unfortunately.
Okay, do it. No, don't sweat.
Cool. Yeah. For flavor though, I'll say that you definitely like you're kind of like throwing some haymakers down on it.
Getting ready to smash on him.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so that's gonna bring it to their turn. I'm gonna give that one disadvantage on its save. 2 for its wisdom save. The other one got a 3. So yeah, how much damage these fools take?
12.
Okay.
Jesus.
Holy shit.
That thing is so strong.
It's so OP. I love it.
This is insane.
1 HP.
Oh wow!
They have
Good
1
for
HP.
it.
Both of
I'm
them?
proud of it.
Both of them have 1 HP. They both
Nice.
taken the same amount of damage.
That's awesome.
So these things are just barely clinging to life as they're just getting the smack down on them by Rangrim's spectral homies. And they are going to the one that has Cosmo on top. It's going to try to throw Cosmo off with a strength check.
Do I get a saving throw for that? Or no?
I think it's just another contested strength.
Yeah, I
check.
think it's strength check for strength check.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
No, you
It
lose.
rolled a 10.
I rolled a 27.
I mean, so close.
I
really.
mean,
to
it's
be
really
fair.
apples and oranges. They're playing two different games.
Yeah. So no, I'm gonna say that. Yeah, I'm gonna say that because it tries struggling against you. You kind of tighten your grip on its throat, and it's just enough to. It takes 2 damage, and this thing. How does it die?
I think it would kind of be on accident. Like Cosmo,
Just squeezing too hard.
like he's trying to fight to get up, and so he just is like tries to fight back, and he goes limp, and he's just.
You crush its like larynx, like you just crush its throat. Like as you're trying to like pull, you're like
This-
you kind of like ratchet it too hard with your plate mail.
Right? He's just like, oh, what? Oh, okay.
You just hear like a couple good pops and a crack, and you're like, it just kind of goes limp, and you're like,
What?
oh,
This,
oh
this-
no,
Good boy. Good boy. And he just puts him down.
down.
Dang.
The other one is seeing this happen and just like barely clinging to life and seeing that it's the only one left, is going to turn and absolutely just start booking it away.
Attack of opportunity?
Which would give Rangrim's going to get attack of opportunity on for sure.
It also only gets half its movement because of the.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
And while he's moving out of my space, I'm going to use my attack of opportunity to cast Word of Radiance and go, nope. So that'd be 2d6. So that's 8 damage if he doesn't save.
What's the save?
Word of Radiance is a con save, I believe. That's why I got him confused.
Okay,
Yep.
That's 14.
14 does not save. So he takes 8 radiant damage from trying to leave my space. When I said, nope.
So how does it die?
I imagine I was like, hey, nope. And it just like falls on its face.
Yeah, you yell
Like
this word at it.
mid-stride, it just like ragdolls to the ground.
100%. So this thing's running, and it just kind of like just as it's like just getting outside of like your radiant circle, and it's like you can see it's running towards the water, and just like nope, and it just hits this thing, and it just kind of falls limp and just slides on its face, and like there's just like blood trickling out of its ears. With that, you are out of combat.
Well, guys, that was I'll be honest. I think I just realized how loud that spell is. We've always been in like big fights. Like it was always like really loud around me, so I didn't actually notice. That was pretty loud. That's on me. I'm gonna.
Yes. I'm glad you recognize it's your fault. Great job.
Look, I'm not perfect, but I learned from my mistakes a third of the time.
Right. Well, let's just see if they got anything good with it and move on, shall we? And I start searching around the Knoll leader's body.
Okay. Yeah. Roll an investigation check.
Investigating.
I'd be doing the same, but for basically whatever Knoll that he's not looking at, I'd just be going through all of them.
Investigation is a 17.
Okay. Awesome. Glenn and Rangrim, if you want to roll as well.
I got a 23.
17.
17, awesome. Okay, so aside from like, I don't know if you guys are taking their weapons and whatnot, but I'll say that over the course of the rest of them, you find at least 5 sets of manacles, as well as probably like 15 gold and 8 silver pieces total over the course of all of them. Cosmo, on the leader, you find 2 more of those like kind of metal corked flasks that look very similar to the one you saw them quaff, and kind of looking at them, you would take them to be the same kind of enlarged potion that they took before.
Ooh, this will be fun. And he just puts them both in his bag.
They're just like little metal, like basically flasks.
Little shooters, like a 5-hour energy.
100%, yeah, exactly.
Or 4-hour, because then we don't have to call a doctor. Or Rangrim.
But yeah, that's kind of what you find. Aside from that, they just have like a bunch of kind of various weapons, and then like armor and different levels of repair. But if you want to load all that stuff up, it'll be you have to you could store it somewhere, but it's gonna be hard to carry it around with you.
Like walking the mine, dragging bodies.
Yeah.
Looking at the I guess any of them or all of them, do any of them have like any keys, or do they have any like means of unlocking or access?
That's a good question. The Knoll leader actually does have a ring of keys on their belt. There seems to be like there's a good amount of them, and maybe like 15 total. But it's just like a whole ring of skeleton keys that was hanging off their belt. So
Glenn would take that and be like, boys, I think we might be able to help some of our friends down there, and just kind of like jangles the keys. So before we head any deeper, though, it looks like Poe found something behind us. He went down that way, and he keeps telling me that we've got more people that way. We might want to take it easy and go see what's behind us.
Sounds like an all right plan to me.
And Glenn would start walking stealthily, but ahead to where Poe's at. But jumping to Poe's eyes, can I see? Are the people still just digging away and mining? Like Poe's not in any imminent danger?
Yeah. So
like a baby.
Yeah, roll a perception check for Poe.
What do you see, Poe? 14.
Okay, sweet. Yeah, so Poe, kind of looking at them, you see through Poe's eyes that even in this like dim light, their eyes seem to have that kind of like fully black nature. Like their pupils have like overtaken their whole eye, and they don't seem to be. They seem to be moving in a very monotonous fashion. They're basically breaking pieces of these mushrooms off and then loading them up into these sacks around them, and they are just like doing that. And then that's basically what they're doing, is slowly moving and doing that. And you just see the three of them continue to do that. And then Udak is gonna kind of sheepishly go over and walk and pick up his sword and connect it back on. He goes, sorry about that, Cosmo. I damn near got you in the head with it. I got a little bit bloodthirsty there. It's hard to keep it the nature in sometimes.
Right. Well, it's okay. It just gets ahead of you. I've been that before.
He goes, Glenn, I think that subterfuge is going to be a little bit unnecessary at this point. He's like, as much as I've enjoyed this form, and he takes the mask off and kind of passes it back over to Glenn. He goes, and immediately transforms back into his like fully orc form. Goes, I think that I'd rather finish this off as myself.
And as Glenn takes back, he's like, I'll be honest, I just like looking at you the other way better, but preference, whatever. And he just like equips to the side of his head again, and says to Udax, like, do you recognize these mushrooms? Can you tell me what they're mining down here? And I point to like the glowing mushrooms.
Yeah. This is strange. When I was back down here, we were mining ore. I don't know what they're mining now. This is something different. I'm not 100% sure what this is, but we were mining ore out of these same chambers when I was here.
Glenn looks over to Rangram. It's like, they had that same look in their eyes you and Regalia have. I don't know if it's all your siblings down this way, or it might be that.
What's the look like?
And I switch the mask over and I do my exact face, but with the black eyes. And then I switch it back.
That's cool.
Oh, so this, and Rangram casts Thaumaturgy to change the color of his eye, because it actually specifically says you can do that. I just make it black.
Yep. Yeah, and I always picture it at like when it does
Cosmo, he's turning
like,
it.
It's basically like your pupil just expands to take up your entire eye and turns completely black.
Yeah, just like that. And I move the mask over and do it again.
You guys should stop messing with your eyes. It's kind of creeping me out here. And let's just have a look at these mushroom things. And Cosmo would walk over to one and inspect it.
Okay. Yeah, roll me a nature check.
What? 8. My nature check is 12.
Okay. Yeah, so you haven't encountered anything like this before. When you're looking at the walls, though, and like in the area around where these mushrooms have grown, you recognize what you recognize is not the mushrooms or any information about the mushrooms, but you recognize that these are recently, like these walls have been quarried. Like it's not like these are naturally like these have definitely been mined out walls, and you can see that there is still remnants of like iron ore and different kinds of ore that are in the walls, and these mushrooms have kind of grown out and around this ore that's in there. And like you can tell just from like your knowledge of mines that these walls were mined probably less than a year ago, and this growth is new.
All right. So picking it up, so I would break one of the like a.
They're surprisingly heavy. Yeah. Okay. So I'll say that you go to break it off, and it kind of breaks off almost like something that's petrified and kind of brittle, and so it breaks off almost like crystal when you. And so you've never really encountered something like this. Rangram, you would recognize these things as something you've encountered in the Underdark. It's like it's almost like this crystal mushroom that has grown down there, but it's kind of bioluminescent, but it's not something that Cosmo you've ever seen on the surface.
So just like recognizing how weird it is, I kind of look over at the other guys and just like, well, let's just see what happens, shall we? And he just like licks it.
Okay, yeah, you do that. you. So that's just 2 damage as you get this like really bitter taste in your mouth, and like it's almost like you can feel like your life energy being pulled out of you through your tongue, and you kind of like touch it. And like it gives you that electric shock of almost like a battery, and you're like, nope, and kind of pull it away from your mouth. But it's you take 2 points of necrotic damage.
Right, and I just like
And your tongue is kind of slightly numb for a second.
Well, Cosmo, how's it taste?
bad.
Is bad? Okay. Maybe
As
we
soon
don't
as
lick
you-
them.
As soon as your tongue touches it, it actually and it pulls this 2 points of necrotic damage out of you. It actually kind of like the brightness, the luminescence gets brighter, almost doubles. And you're holding this thing in your hand that's like twice as bright now, almost as if it turns your life energy into luminescence.
That's nice. It likes you. Well, I'll take that one, and I'm gonna collect a few more of them, but I'm gonna like bandage, like I'm gonna wrap them up with like a bunch of like sheets and whatnot. I'm gonna put it away like in my satchel. Like I'm gonna almost like that one mug that you like during the move, the only mug that actually matters. Everything else just thrown in there. This is like bundled safely. I'm gonna take like 5 of them.
Okay, they are pretty big. You're talking like the smallest ones you can find, or probably have a mushroom cap of at least like think like portobello mushrooms. That's like the smallest size you're able to find. So how many of those are you able to?
Yeah, I'll take like 3 portobello mushroom size ones.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you're very careful not to shatter them as you're kind of you're putting them away. But yeah, I mean you're able to package away 3 of them in a pretty safe manner where they're not going to just like break. Hopefully.
Well, guys, it's just more of that as we go down this hallway. I don't know, but it looks like it kind of saps some of your juice to make it so bright. And looking down the hallway, it's a little bit brighter. I'm guessing. It's like I think there might be a lot of life getting sucked down there. I don't know if we want to necessarily head that way just yet, but our friends with the black eyes, we might be able to get them out there, but I don't know how. Not without succumbing to that. So, guys, what do you say we do?
Look what I did. And Rangrim's standing there holding 2 of the manacles, but he jammed mushrooms in either end of them, and he's just spinning them.
Like a rave.
And I am keeping those.
Nice. Mushroom manacles?
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah, you guys think we should go see if we can help them out, or come get them after we've dealt with the nightmare ahead of us?
Well, I mean, if we kill what's got them all locked up in here, maybe we can leave them be. If they're fine, then maybe we go kill this Spot, whatever his name is, the brothers, something. Who that knew what their names were?
It'll be it's Doc. We're gonna go. We're gonna go after Doc first, see if we can't get rid of some of his contraptions, and then it's Alton. He's sitting down in deep. We don't know where he is.
Right. Well,
I
then
think maybe if we get who's running this mine, then maybe they'll just be fine.
Did Poe see any glowing, like the same way that Rangrim's hand was glowing when his mind was like taken over? Was there any glowing that Poe could see of the people?
No, you haven't seen at this point. You haven't seen any of that symbol at all yet.
Okay. Well, I believe we want to start heading that way, and I point to the right.
Right.
If we're gonna go hunt down Doc.
Let's go get him.
And I snap my finger, and Poe bamfs back to me.
Okay.
Which I'll bring him over. I'll just bring him with me, so you don't have to constantly try to make him appear and disappear.
You all are kind of heading down towards the right, and you start hearing this just kind of like splashing.
Stealthily. We're doing it stealthily.
You just hear this splashing as this gnoll comes walking kind of across the water and just kind of gets up on the bank and is kind of rubbing its eyes. And then it just kind of sees you all and sees all these dead gnolls, and then just turns and starts running back down the back across the water. You see it kind of take a look ahead of itself and look towards the mist, and then change direction and just start running to the right side here down the waterway.
We couldn't see any of that.
You just hear it splashing, and then you hear it get like you just kind of hear the splashing get louder and just kind of like swimming noises. And then you hear what sounds like a yelp, and then the sound of something like basically like struggling in water. And then you don't hear anything anymore.
Cosmo, you look like a strong swimmer. Why don't you go check that one out?
Right. Well, sure.
Yeah, nothing makes for a strong swimmer like plate mail armor.
On a
A lot of
dwarf.
cardio.
On a dwarf.
All right, fine. I'll do it, and stealthily I'll approach. Sorry, go ahead.
Let's say I'll watch for with this rope, and I'll cast a line if you need anything.
You're just such a good guy, and yeah, I'm gonna stealthily walk towards the water's edge, try to keep. Again, these are like pillars that are going up, so I'd kind of like be hiding, tucked in behind these pillars, like here, and see if I see anything like in the water, kind of making its way.
Make its way downtown.
Make its way
I
downtown.
would be following Glenn as well, and that was only just like several minutes of us poking around with those glowing mushrooms, correct?
Yeah, it was only a couple
Okay,
minutes.
because Spirit Guardians actually last 10 minutes. So
Okay.
technically, it would still Spirit Guardians up. So I'm following Glenn
With your homies.
with Spirit Guardians.
With your
up.
whole family.
Oh
Yeah,
my
it's a
god.
whole reunion.
It's totally every single time this happens, it's just the last scene of in Harry Potter where he's like walking through the woods with his parents in Sirius.
Just think. I just more think of the ghost from like the Lord of the Rings with the
Oh yeah.
I think of Mulan, Angry Ancestors.
that too.
It's all of those, and Force Ghosts, you know.
That's all of them. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, sure. The original cast though, not the Hayden Christensen Anakin
Boo. Yeah, no.
monster thing they did. Yeah, Glenn.
That's right.
You can't really see anything. You just see water. It's basically you see that this water is kind of running down out of the ceiling from your left, and to your right, you're just kind of seeing the water flowing downhill, and just kind of gets more rapid and deeper, kind of as it goes.
So I would start walking across Rangram's family and like kind of like sidestep all of them. Excuse me. Sorry. Excuse me. Sorry. Very nice to meet you. Your grandson's great. And I'd come over to the side towards the source of the waterfall. Can I see I can see kind of a map, but like there's like an across. Is it a raised across, or is it like my level? Like, is this like water coming down and then like on the other side there's something same level?
It's kind of flowing. It's flowing from like a pretty sharp angle up, and it's kind of splashing down a rock face. But it's kind of coming out of a dark hole in the ceiling. But it's not like there's an open like thing. It's just kind of like the water is encompassing the entire opening that's coming out of.
Okay. That was gonna be a question. There's like some ledges up there, but it doesn't sound like it. Okay.
Not that way, at least.
We kind of look over to Rangram's like, I don't know really. I think we have to swim, but I'm not sure if I can see this knoll anywhere. And I think he went for a swim, and I don't know if he's going to come back out of this.
Yeah, and he kind of just looks at himself and just kind of clink, 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 like taps on his plate. I'm like, I don't know how good I'm going to be doing swimming over there. And that's for Cosmo, too. And Udak he doesn't have hands.
That's fair. Yeah, I don't really know. I don't know if the sword stroke is really the most effective way to swim.
The sword stroke.
Udak, do you remember anything about this water source, where it's coming from, or what might be living in it?
That is something I do remember. I don't know what it is, but we all knew to stay away from it because basically people would go down and wouldn't come back up. They had a name for it, but it's pretty weird. I don't remember. Something with weird water, something like that.
Well, I think we just stick to the dry land for now and start making my way back over to the group. Bring Poe back and send Poe down the hallway. So 50 feet down the hallway.
Okay. Down that hallway. Cool. Yeah. So Poe goes down this hallway. It's starting to get even steeper going this direction. It was kind of like teetering down when you're looking into like the purple mushroom chamber. Poe is kind of going down at a pretty steep angle at this point, and you can see that there are two passageways that one kind of splits off to the right from the main passageway you're going down, and at a kind of like it kind of flattens out to the right there, and the other one just kind of keeps going ahead. What do you want to do?
So as Poe's flying down, and Glenn's not like bamped into Poe's eyes or anything, just as he's flying away, looks at Udak, says, this looks about right for the directions that Erd gave us, right? We going the right way?
Yeah, this is where the doc had his lab down here a little bit.
Right, well then let's hop to it. And Cosmo is headed down this hill.
Sweet. Yeah, so there's kind of like fallen rocks and just kind of like collapsed areas where they just didn't secure it enough. Like that's one thing that you're noticing. Anyone who's experienced in mining would be that this place doesn't seem like it was well done. Like you would have put structural supports in to hold the mine up. It seems almost like it was kind of ramshackly done. It wasn't like it was made to exist for a very long time.
Does it look unstable, or does it look...
Kind of. So it doesn't look like the roof's falling in or cracking, but like these kind of like piles of rocks against the wall. It seems like they probably weren't like, it wasn't mined off. It like fell. Like these walls have partially collapsed in a couple sections. Just kind of, I mean, just for, your understanding of mines, like you would know that this was not done by anyone that was like very proficient in mining.
Sure. Okay. As we round this corner, or we kind of, I'll like slowly step up to the edge and kind of stealthily peer into this room or this hallway or whatever this intersection would be.
Yeah. Roll me a perception check.
Perceiving. I don't perceive anything. I perceived with a 2.
Okay, I'll say that it's pretty dark in here. There doesn't seem to be any lights, and with a 2, I'll say that like you can hear the ambient kind of snoring from something, but aside from that, you don't really see too much. You see like maybe some scattered metal and like pieces of like cages, maybe just like metal pieces scattered across the floor.
I turn. As Glint.
Go.
Oh, I was gonna say, as Glenn sees Cosmo like just sort of like casually walking forward, glowing all golden bright, he's gonna run forward and just like grab Cosmo by the back of his like plate mail and hold it, like, this is literally why we have. And I like.
Are you not the one that got us into the first fight?
Look, thunder's different than lightning. I get that now. And then I'm gonna send Poe down this corridor.
That is a good lesson to learn, though, that thunder is different than lightning.
It is, man. He's going to go 50 feet, so he's going to head down this corridor here.
Okay. So roll perception for Poe.
Perception?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
That is a 7.
7. Well, I'll say that Poe flies into the room, and you see this room that is like, it is absolutely like completely just like a mess. Like there's stuff everywhere. There are cages of all sorts and sizes, just different, small, large, just kind of all the way around the room. And you see that there are at least a couple actually like prison cells cut into the rock with these like cells like that are closed. And as Poe's flying in, he kind of like sees to the right, there is a knoll that is kind of like up against the wall and one of these like kind of rubble piles and is sleeping and kind of hears the sound of Poe's wings coming into the room and is going to start kind of moving over to Poe and kind of pulling out a dagger and is lining up a shot to try to throw a dagger at Poe. And roll for an attack.
Okay.
That is a good old 8. I don't think that hits.
That does not hit.
So he throws his dagger, and it kind of just like bounces off the ceiling. And what do you want to do?
When Poe senses the danger, he immediately starts to cry like an infant, and that's the sign for Glenn to know to bamf him back. So there's like one baby's cry, and then gone.
Sweet. Yeah, I'll say that this dagger was flying like at Poe, and then you just kind of like disappeared. And this Noel is very confused at this point. He's kind of walking around. Now that Poe is back here, but it's kind of right as Poe is disappearing, you can kind of see this like Noel is like looking around like, what the fuck was that? Picking up his dagger.
Glenn looks over the groups like, boys, we got some more friendlies ahead. I won't be so loud this time. And I step in front of Cosmo and I start sneaking to try to get within range to take a shot at him, which I think is 60 feet.
One thing I will say is from where you guys are at right now, you don't know what it is, and it's not something that you've heard before, but you hear this just like kind of like sickly wet moaning sound just kind of like coming from further down the passageway, just kind of like a, just like
This
almost
down?
like a moan.
Or the way
Yes.
that Poe went.
Yes,
The
yes,
other
yes,
one.
yes,
Okay,
yes.
gotcha.
This way. Yeah. This
Gross.
way.
Cool.
Seems
Well-
super safe.
Nothing to worry about there, I guess.
Rangrim, will you tell your grandma to keep it down? And Glenn's gonna like sneak forward. I got a 19 for a stealth check for Glenn to get, I guess, within visible range. I don't think this gives me 60 feet of vision, but I'm guessing I can see him because he's right there, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I would take a shot at him with my bow.
Roll your
It's,
attack.
yeah, it's 22 to hit, but I'm gonna guess it's gonna hit.
Yeah, I think so.
Boom.
It is definitely looking away from you. Does not see you.
So 17 damage to him.
Okay, that's with sneak attack and all that. All
Yeah.
fun stuff. Cool. Yeah, I mean you shoot him in the back with your arrow and it explodes, kind of pushes him forward. He kind of falls over this table and turns around and is looking at you and is going to just huck that dagger back your way. That is a 12 plus 5, 17.
That hits.
Okay. 8 damage.
But I'm gonna take uncanny dodge and only take half that damage.
Sweet. Awesome. 4 damage. This dagger kind of like whips over and kind of like you're able to get out of the way of the full hit thing, but it kind of cuts a line across your shoulder. Doesn't impale you though.
Son of a... And I just immediately take another shot. If
Awesome.
I can.
Yeah, go for it.
That's cocked. That's the same exact number. 20 to hit.
Yes, it does.
Neat. And another 12 damage.
Okay, yeah. So that one does it. You shoot this thing. Yeah, how does it die actually?
Just taking a I guess page of Cosmos book. It's like, down boy, and just shoot him right in the chest and just drops him.
Awesome. Yeah, it hits him in the chest and like he kind of like it kind of blows up and he doesn't blow his chest out, but just like falls backwards and just kind of like lays back along this table and is dead.
So we have one less to deal with in this room, but I don't really know what's ahead of us, so we just need to stay low and quiet. And I sneak ahead to the pile that he was in, and I kind of wait for the group to catch up.
Okay. Yeah, as you move further into the room, you're just seeing that these there's cages all over the place. Like there's the same metal cages, and you recognize this as like the cage that you Rangram actually used to make Udak's new hands. Like one of these that's goblin size is very similar to the ones that you use for that. Like the same construction even of the cage that's on the back of your cart. It's that like you're like, oh, this is where this came from for sure. There's no carts in here currently, but you can see that there are pieces of cage that would have been created for the cart or for more carts. And there are at least 1, 2, 3, 4 different cells that are built into the walls as well. And as you kind of start coming into the room, you can hear a couple different voices just being like, hey, is someone out here?
Hello?
Oh my God. Are you here to help us?
This would be like basically a voice from the nothing because I'm completely hidden too. Be like, who is us?
Oh, over here. And you're hearing, where would your vision be? So you see a halfling in the cage closest to you. And they're kind of like putting their hand through the cage and they're kind of waving it like, hey, over here.
Glenn looks at Cosmos like, I'll keep an eye down this hallway. This seems like the whole freeing people. That's kind of your MO.
Right. Well, I mean, it could be yours too, but
It really isn't.
I'll do it. And Cosmo just kind of moves up into the room.
As Cosmo walks by me too, I toss him those keys.
Right. Catch him.
Right. A dexterity saving throw.
Dexterity saving throw.
I don't know what it'd be. No, I guess it would be. To catch something? Yeah, I guess it'd be dexterity saving throw.
Okay. It's 21 plus something else.
Okay, yeah, you fucking catch that thing, no problem. And as you're kind of walking into this room, Udek's like, I'm having, I don't really remember this room very clearly, but I think this is where they did where they would take you first, and then they would. I remember being in this room, and then I just remember being outside after that. I think that this is where they enchanted us.
I do like a quick glance around the room. Do I see any like physical restraints or anything for people?
Oh yeah, this room is full of manacles of every kind. All the cages themselves have physical restraints built into them. The walls have restraints on them. Like this is where any kind of cage or manacle was manufactured.
Got it. And I look over to is the halfling, right?
Yeah, I'm over here.
What are you here for, boy?
I don't know. I was just traveling and they grabbed me.
Were you traveling alone?
No. I was my friend across the way. He stopped responding after that dragonborn came in here. He hasn't been talking since.
Over where?
He points directly kind of across the room, kind of down, like to the southeast.
Right. Well, let's get you out of that cage and we'll check on your friend. And I walk over to the cage, and I'm gonna try and like pick the right key. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Roll me a just roll me a d20.
Roll to make a good decision.
Roll. That's pretty much how D&D works, right?
True.
Any kind of a modifier or anything that like
just roll me a d20.
It's a 7.
Okay. You fuck around with these keys. It's probably the 12th key you get to on this 15 key ring. You should just kind of like fuck. And on the 12th key, you finally unlock the lock in this. So this halfling, like they're very much like peasants' clothing. Like you can, a lot of what they're wearing is just like kind of, you would see like a farmer or someone like that wearing this clothing. Very,
Right.
very brown.
Right. Well, 12 times the charm. Let's get you out of here and go check on your friend.
Yeah. Let's go. Weston. And he's kind of moving across the room and is kind of like looking into the cage. Are any of you guys following?
I will.
Okay. You get over there and you see this half-elven man who's wearing kind of like similar clothing, just like very muted tones. And they're just standing in this cage. Their eyes are completely pitch black, and they are not responding.
Is this your friend?
Yeah.
What did they?
What's wrong with him?
I don't know. I've seen this before on some of the other slaves, but I don't know. What did they do to him?
That dragonborn came in here and did some sort of enchantment. They tried doing it to me as well. I almost felt like it was. Have you ever like a friendship almost? Like it was. I felt like it was trying to like burrow into my mind. I was able to like, it didn't really seem to take that much effect on me. But I don't know if it was worse for them.
Is he the only other one that you were caged with?
Yeah, there was someone else got brought in with us in the same cage. They were wearing like, I don't know, some sort of guard art outfit. It was kind of like a red maroon, and they had some sort of like a symbol on on their chest, like a fist.
Right, yep, that's one of mine. I'm afraid that I don't know what this is, but I don't even know if your friend is there right now. I can leave him in there, or we can let him
Leave
out.
a message.
We can leave him in this cage, or we can let him out and see what happens.
I mean, I don't know. Do you think it could be violent?
We haven't seen any violence from him. but we haven't really interacted with them much. We've been so preoccupied with the Knoll guards.
I mean, maybe we can like shake him out of it. Yeah, let him out.
All right,
what's the worst?
Well, the worst is I kill your friend because he tries to kill you.
He looks at you like,
or I can let him kill you.
Glenn chuckles from the shadows.
I mean, the halfling looks pretty scared. Doesn't want to get killed by either you or his friend, but he's not saying anything. What do you want to do?
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and take your silence as you're still up for letting him out, and I open the cage.
Okay.
Wait. Hold on.
Wait.
Rangrim's just getting a closer vantage point as he sits on this table and just like pulls one of his cigarettes out and is just like watching. Like very much Michael Jackson eating popcorn GIF type vibe.
All right, I open the cage.
Awesome. Yeah, roll me d20.
4 days later.
It's a 6.
It takes you even longer. You get all the way around this time, and it turns out that it was basically just one off of. You started here in the key ring. It was the one around the other side. So you basically make it all the way around, and you finally unlock this cage. The cage swings open, and the figure is just kind of standing there, and then they just kind of start walking straight forward, straight towards you. Do you do anything when they walk straight towards you?
I move to the side.
They walk right past you, and the halfling is kind of like grabbing his friend and just kind of trying to shake him. And it doesn't seem to do anything. The figure just kind of walks straight past and is just continuing through the room. Are any of you doing anything to stop them, or just letting him go?
Well, are you gonna let your friend walk out? What are you gonna do?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to do. Can we? I don't know. What should we do?
Well, grab him.
The halfling's like, okay, and just kind of jumps on this half elf's back and is now being carried forward as this half elf is just walking through the room. Well, this is all I have. I don't know what else to do.
Cosmo, you should probably help him.
What do I do with the fella? And let's see. I look around on the ground. I look for a rock.
I don't think we should hurt him. So Udak, I don't think we should hurt him. I think that I don't know. He doesn't seem violent. Can we just like put him back in a cage?
Well, I mean, maybe. And like Cosmo runs across the room to try and like coerce him, like direct him into the halfling's cage that he was in.
All right, I'll say that basically barrel across the room, you can just like straight push this half elf directly into the cage if you want to. They're lined up with it.
I will just give him a quick shove into this cage.
They do that thing where when someone starts falling down, like they get pushed over enough where they like kind of start running in that direction to try to not fall over,
right.
And run straight into the cage and basically collide with the wall. Knock the halfling off sideways, kind of against the table. And if you want to, you can get over there and basically shut the door before they're able to get out.
I'll close the door.
And so then they kind of just like stand back up again, their head kind of bleeding at this point, and they just kind of stand looking directly out of the cage again, not moving, in probably a very upsetting and kind of weird manner.
Well, I tried. Somebody else's. Well, and then so let's just see who else is in some of these cages, and maybe we'll get some more information. And so I walk down over to this cage over here. With what appears to be potentially something there.
Yeah, so you look into that cage and you can see what looks like maybe someone who didn't take so well to whatever it is. It seems to be a body of some sort of humanoid that is pretty well past its prime. It is like almost a husk at this point of something that has been in there for quite a while. Some sort of dead humanoid.
Well, no information coming from that one. And then he just kind of moves around the room. down towards the other cage. I don't. Can I go this way? Looks. I don't know. What.
Which one?
Anyhow, I'm gonna move my way over to this cage right here.
Okay. Yeah. So, you see, I believe, is that you're going over towards the?
The one with.
Yeah, there you
Yep.
go.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, you're looking basically directly at a rolling actually a history check. See whether or not you remember this particular guy.
On 19.
Okay.
Is it Gary?
Yeah. It's Greg.
Gary's
This is
friend.
Greg. Yeah, this is Greg. This is Gary's friend, Greg. And Greg is staring at you with very black eyes.
Well, this one has black eyes like the other one. I don't think he'll be worth much information, and I don't know what to do.
Well, boys, I think we had the plan right of ambush and Doc, and this looks to be where we need to do that. So why don't we set up and see if we can't get ready for an ambush when he comes back.
I'm the halfling just kind of raises his hand like, I'm just gonna hide. If that's cool, I don't really want to help fight. I'm just gonna hang out in here. I'm gonna close myself in the cage and just like not lock it. Is that cool?
Right, it's fine. Just go ahead then.
He's like, he just kind of goes over here and kind of puts himself in this cage and just kind of like pulls like a sleeping like sack off the ground and just kind of like pulls it up to his eyes and is just kind of like trying to hide against the wall. Is like, I'm rooting for you.
Let's hear it.
Guys, I think I
By
have.
the way, I'm Tardin.
Right, okay.
Tardin, I hope we need to remember your name by the end of this, but it's a good chance we won't need to remember it. So it's been a fun
That's fine.
15 minutes.
Well, guys, I think I have an idea. These black eyes we keep seeing from them, that you two can both do. Pointing at Glenn and Rangrim. That might be our way to be hidden in plain sight.
Oh, you mean this? And then he just does it.
Right. Except you scare me. You make me want to hit you, or something. You scare me. But
I think that's a great idea. I think we let Rangrim start the introductions, and I think you and I follow up, because if he sees through mine, I'm a little squishy. It hurts. Everything hurts. I think we let Rangrim use that old Rangrim charm to close the distance, and once we have an opportunity to move, we all just pounce on him.
right.
I don't think this Doc guy, if he's using magic to slave people, really needs too much of our charm. I think the only charm he gets to meet is real pointy and real sharp.
I would like to give him show him the sharp points of these new blades, to be quite honest, for what he's done to me.
Right.
So Udak and I have done this countless times before. We call it Formation Alpha. Udak, get to your usual spot. I'll hide over here, and I think Cosmo, you just got to hide under a tarp. You're shiny and golden, man.
Right. I can make my eyes real big, try and show a lot of black, but that's the best he got.
I'm gonna give you a tarp.
Well, why don't
Yeah, the
why don't I take this cage over here where this decrepit fella is, but we'll leave the cage open and maybe I can something can come of it.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I think Rangrim, maybe if you wander aimlessly around like our little half-elf friend, get the conversation started, and we'll follow up with the howdy do, and make this one quick.
You guys trying
Sounds like
to?
a good plan to me. Maybe before you put yourself in them cages, it might be a good idea to take the key for whatever it is you're putting yourself in.
Right.
That's smart.
Well, I have all the keys, but I'm not really sure which one's which just yet.
Oh, we know you're having trouble with that one, Cosmo. That's why I said maybe we should check them now.
Okay. Well, I gotta open the door first anyways.
I can't have this man's socks coming in, and then you're fumbling with the keys, can't get out of your own cage, making me look foolish. Glenn's gonna be hiding in a barrel the whole time.
Well, you've seen the way I handle doors in the past.
How did he know about playing alpha? That's crazy. Okay, we're going beta. No barrels.
All right. Well,
And Cosmo, while you're going through the keys, it might actually be a good idea just to lock our friend Tardan back in there because we don't know what's going to happen if he doesn't feel or doesn't succumb to this spell again. What if he pulls a Rangram and gets all confused?
no idea, but I think he's pretty locked in there, Will. And
Yeah, I'm fine over here. I won't like look at it in the eyes or whatever. What are you guys trying to bring them in here? What are you doing?
well,
We're going to wait.
we'll just wait it out. They gotta come back, don't they?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. I mean, oh man, this is gonna suck. And he just kind of like pulls the blanket more over his head and kind of just like sits even smaller in the ground, making himself as small as possible in this little cage. Yeah. So where are you all taking positions?
I'm going to. I would want to hide like tucked in this area, and Poe would be tucked where the guy was taking a little snooze. Poe would probably be like just enough to see at least the entryway, and then I would be. Yeah.
Cosmo.
Gregor's going to be kind of wandering about through this area.
Okay, Cosmo was gonna be inside this cage here.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, I'm trying not to move. Whoop. Flip me around there. I was gonna be in the cage with the door left, kind of like half open. Not like it'll be open, but it'll look closed or unlocked, I guess is the word.
Okay. Udak's going to go into this cage right here. This is basically like standing up in the room. It's just kind of like a self-contained cage. Probably could have gone on the back of a cart. And it's like, here, can I have the key ring? I'll try to figure out which one goes to this one so I can get inside of it.
Right. So I take my key off, and then I'll throw the keys to him.
Okay, cool. Yeah, 16. He does pretty good. He finds it pretty quickly and then just kind of like tosses the key ring over to Glenn.
I pocket him.
Awesome. So yeah, it seems like everyone's kind of got their positioning. I'll say that you all are in here for a little bit before you start hearing this kind of like just like shuffling of a couple sets of feet. And that moaning is getting louder. And you see a pretty upsetting sight walk into the room that looks like a bunch of people sewn together into a pretty nasty, in what I would call a nasty boy. That this nasty boy walks into the room. Is probably about, I'd say, 8 feet tall and is just made up of a lot of different pieces. And even has like metal plates attached to them from time to time, and is kind of this, just like the worst version of a cyborg you could possibly be looking at. It's just think of Willy, but just like Frankenstein, Mecha Frankenstein is kind of what I'm looking at here. And then following them into the room is another upsetting sight, but for a different reason. It is a dragonborn that was probably very tall and very iridescent white at one point in time. They have like these tattered clothes on them that have that same symbol of Torah on the front, just like this white, and it's just everything about them is yellowed and old. Their scales are like yellowed as if like they've been in a cigarette smoker's house for like 100 years. Their scales are kind of falling off of them, and their eyes are like sunken, and this thing looks half like mummified. It does not look, it looks like its eyes are completely like opaque white, and it just like, it looks like it shouldn't be alive, this dragonborn. And it's shambling into the room kind of hunched over with its walking stick. And that is where we're going to leave it tonight.
Nice.
Kill an old person. I'm in.